Glad to have you back this morning. Of course, a whole lot's happening around the world. The papers this morning, we're going to be looking at them, and we have a guest in the house who's going to be helping us with the analysis this morning. I'm talking about Mr. Joseph Anyante, a legal practitioner and, of course, a great analyst. Good to have you in the program this morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning,
yes, good to have you. Let's quickly take off what stories making the headlines on our ABS website.
Yeah, Anambra government reassures on more investments in key sectors of economy. Anambra government targets more interventions to boost power supply in Okan environs. Anambra State Fire Service marks International Firefighters Day in Oka, reassures residents of quality service delivery. Fathers asked to be alive to family responsibilities. These are the stories making the headlines on our website this morning. And I would like us to start from the very first one. Anambra government reassures on more investments.
Yes, that is a welcome development. Of course, the state government is really trying hard to ensure that more people come in to invest in Anambra. That is as a result of the security we have in the state. Because you can't think of investing without thinking of security first. So I want to urge the state government to continue the way it's doing so that we'll have more investors. And that will at the same time help in having more IGR. So that now the new minimum wage is in place, the government can still measure up with it. So it's a welcome development.
All right, the second one, a lot of people have been complaining that they are paying for light and they receive darkness in return. But here, Anambra's government is targeting more interventions to boost power supply in the capital city of Oka and the environs.
Yeah, that would be very good. But I think the federal government will have also to come in. Because the problem we have in this power generation is a very serious one. When you think of generating power, you think also of distributing and transmitting. So these three component bodies will have to really work hand in hand to ensure effective supply of power. So, and if the federal government can allow state governments to actually generate power and distribute. This idea of states generating power and transmitting to a national grid is really not helping states. But if you allow states to generate power and distribute, yeah, it will help states, some states who are dormant, to start doing something to that effect.
Okay.
So so the states should now begin to work towards that, and federal government should allow states to generate and distribute. There's nothing bad in that. Then you now think of maybe the percentage you will now transfer to federal national grid.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Today is International Firefighters Day, and Anambra State Fire Service have reassured residents of their quality service delivery. You know how their story has been that most times when you have inferno, you call them that they are nowhere to be found or they will come very late.
Yes, that has been a very long age problem. And I must have to say that if it's possible, this fire service agency should try as much as possible to have their offices in, let's say, the local government headquarters, so that if you have any problem, people can easily contact their office very close to that area. I know it's going to be a very difficult task, but if they work towards that, it will help them. But as far as that agency is concerned in Anambra State, they are trying their best. They are trying their best. And people will also have to help having a fire extinguisher in your house. So that if you have such situation, you first of all start doing something on it before the fire service will come up.
All right, I think we have to go to our very first paper today, the Sun newspaper.
All right, stories making the headlines on the Sun newspaper this morning. The big one, Army amnesty trade tackles over insecurity. Writers there, global body alleges brutality, forced conscription by military Boko Haram. Military bans use of motorcycles in Kano, Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto, others. Well, on top of that story, police arrest 6 with truckload of poisonous bomb in Lagos, impound preservation chemical. Well, underneath the Sun this morning, 24 days to inauguration, anxiety over NAS Service Commission. Buhari yet to act 5 months after nomination of commission's members. Why I want to be Senate President, Ndume. We are yet to decide who to support, PDP. Buhari returns from UK. Naysayers can swallow their words. Presidency. Ramadan, Saraki, Kalu, others felicitate with Muslim. Big story there. Army, amnesty trade tackles over insecurity.
Yes, I must have to say that our army, they are really trying hard to ensure that the issue of insecurity is taken care of in this country. But I think there are some individuals who are benefiting from this insurgency. Because I can't actually understand why the issue of Boko Haram, banditry, and the herdsmen cannot be taken care of by the federal government. And incidentally, these things are happening in the north, where Mr. President is coming from. And when you look at the service chiefs, they are all coming from the north. So where? Then we now need to ask some fundamental questions. Why are we not getting it right? If these service chiefs are not doing what they ought to do, you change them. There's no big deal.
Well, when you talk about changing them, you talk about them coming from the north, so you probably change them again. You still get people from the north.
No,
so
that is what I'm saying. When you change them, then you bring somebody from the southeast.
Well, that will be
an outsider that will say enough is enough. Stop this. Because let me tell you something. If your brother is involved in doing something, you may not have that political way to really be hard on him. But if an outsider is allowed to come in, that person will say, hey, stop this. And that thing will stop.
All right, let's quickly look at the story. Police arrest 6 with truckload of poisonous bomb in Lagos. I mean, I saw the story yesterday. I saw the pictures yesterday. I saw the bomb, inside the truck.
No, we can't at this moment say it's poisonous until you carry out some tests. The standard organization will have to come in, NAFDAC will have to come in to say that this is poisonous. Sometimes we arrest people and we just show them on television and say poisonous or this and that.
Well,
but
I'm sure they are talking depending on the chemical they use in preserving the
No. But they are not experts in that field at that moment. So you can't really say poisonous. That's the area I'm coming. If they've arrested the career of Pomo, they should go into a very long and credible investigation to find out whether it's poisonous or not. Because I know people enjoy Pomo.
But me, I don't enjoy dry promotion.
All right, let's quickly move on. Yeah.
All right, so story making the headlines there. Boko Haram attacks military base in Borno. As army confirms attack, loss of 5 soldiers. Ban use of Okada in 7 states. Normalcy gradually returning, residents say. Samsung Apple smartphone shipment. The deadline by 38.3% in first quarter of 2019. Vendors ship 311 million smartphones in first quarter of 2019. Industry experts signal another bad year for smartphone shipment. And down there we have federal government okays 169.7 billion naira for construction rehabilitation of 10 roads. Buhari returns from 10-day visit to UK. Ramadan, Saraki Dogara urged Muslims to pray for peace, security, and prosperity. the role of parliamentarians in SDGs monitoring by Imo Governors-elect Emeka Ihediora. All right, the big story, Boko Haram attacks a military base in Borno State.
Yes. And the army is coming up now to say 5 persons killed. But yesterday we got information that more than 15 persons
Now
were killed.
they are saying 5 soldiers.
So that will tell you, if army can come up to say 5, it's more than that. If what we see on television sometimes is not the true situation of things. The truth is that when you get to the north, people die on daily basis. And we must have to see it as a very serious situation.
I think when it actually comes to situations like this, you always cannot get the correct figures, because then we're talking about...
That is what I'm saying.
You know,
when you say 5, it's more than that. And the National Assembly has invited Mr. President. I thank God he came back yesterday. But the point now is he going to obey or even go down to National Assembly to explain some of these things?
The military also banned the use of Okada in 7 states.
You see, banning of Okada, because most of the times these guys use Okada to come into where they will attack. They will carry more than up to 3 persons with the rider, making it 4. So any village they want to attack, there will be more than 200 in number. So when you stop Okada movement, you now curtail some of these ills, so that once they come up, you can have the avenue now to arrest them.
All right, just to let you know that this is quite participatory. The numbers are on your screen. Call us, and of course, join in the conversation this morning. Make your voice heard. Now, let's quickly move on to the next paper this morning. The Point newspaper stories making the headlines on the Point newspaper. The big one: state of public varsity libraries worrisome, says ASU president. With writers there, if you visit the Kenneth DK Library, you will see the level of wrath there. Where there is power outage, the workers will have to be running around to look for diesel to power the generator. That's if the generator is working. And that's coming from UI ASU chair. Well, on top of that story, banks makes 124 billion naira from e-transactions. You get that on page 29 of the Punch newspaper. How to end Godfatherism in Lagos, El Rufai is speaking. Tribunal to issue notice to hear Atiku's petition this week. Presidency attacks media as Buhari returns from UK. Ramadan, Saraki Dogara, Ekweremadu seeks prayer for, I think we've seen that one. Well, underneath the story, Ramadan, prices of tomato, pepper rise by 60% in Lagos. That's huge. Police arrest 6 for alleged sale of poisonous bomo in Lagos. We've seen that too. UTME, 5 jailed for exam fraud. 123 others facing trial. Well, let's quickly look at this. Because of the Ramadan, prices of tomato pepper rises to 60% in Lagos.
Yes, that has been the custom of our people here in Nigeria. If you have any festive, prices will go up. Even the little Easter we celebrated some weeks ago, the prices of goods actually went up.
You can put it, let's know who is here. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. All right, you can continue.
So until we learn to respect a value system in this country.
Why is it always whenever it comes to either a festive period, during the fasting period, whatever, prices of goods begin to increase? What is really wrong? Why is it that?
There's nothing wrong with our people. We are just being exploitative in nature. So because I don't see, you are celebrating. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. All right, let's quickly look at this. It looks as if Atiku is not giving up. Tribunal to issue notice to hear Atiku's petition this week.
Yeah, it's a normal thing. It's a welcome development. Some people will say Atiku should go and sit down and relax, but that is not the point. If at any point in time you feel aggrieved, the law provides that you can seek for redress in the law court. So whatever Atiku has as evidence to prove that he won the last election, the tribunal should give him the chance to do that. There's nothing bad in that.
And El Rufai is saying Godfatherism in Lagos. You think it's possible to end that in Lagos?
It's not really all that easy, but it's possible if we can. Because
it's not impossible.
It's not easy, but people will need to work on that. Because what we saw even last time, starting from primaries, APC primaries, is not done where you have people. There was primaries that are supposed to hold, and the observers, the INEC observers that ought to be in that primaries, we are not there. And people gathered, and before you know it, they conducted the election by themselves, and now came up with a result and took it to INEC. It's not done anywhere.
All right, let's leave it at that.
So we must have to work on that. It's not
let's
done
leave it
anywhere.
at that. Let's move on to the next paper, the Daily Independent.
Big story. Buhari Meritan Udoma, Lai Mohammed and Fashola. No need replacing performing minister Sergei. National Assembly leadership, we are yet to decide. PDP wants police APC to leave Senator Adeleke alone. Our restructure Office of Senate President in Dume says Northeast needs articulate Senate President. Insecurity, don't blame IGP. Okiro, presidency mocks naysayer as Buhari returns from London visit. 1 billion naira IMO debt, CBN, 14 banks deny overseeing state account. Fashola finally names allegedly corrupt contractors. Rivers threatens to sue Amechi's ex-aide over 34.5 billion naira. Insecurity, track machineries, APC smuggled, thugs. PDP tells military. Gunmen abduct Taraba female permanent secretary. Let's look at that one. Gunmen abduct Taraba female permanent secretary.
Yeah, well, I saw it yesterday, and it was very touchy, because what is happening in Taraba, Zamfara, Katsina, and Kaduna. So that will tell you that we really need to do something as far as security is concerned.
Does it mean we're not
because
doing
they
something?
even went to the extent of kidnapping a cleric from Katsina, from Mr. President's area. That will tell you that these people are not doing this as childish game or play. They are very serious about it.
I really think this should be a
And
very big
somebody is
topic,
giving them
insecurities.
information.
Insecurity challenges in Nigeria. That doesn't mean we're not doing anything at all. Because, you know, we keep talking about this thing time and time again. You hear the president to come out and say they've defeated Boko Haram.
That is Lai Mohammed for you.
You know,
and one of the papers is saying that he's going to retain Lai Mohammed. I think I have to suggest to Mr.
Sage actually
President
said they're performing
that
ministers.
he should do away with this old food
And bring who?
and bring new people.
I think the new people you're talking about.
See,
don't you think it's because you probably don't like the face of Lai Mohammed?
No. When you talk of having real information, Lai Mohammed is not doing it, and that is why we are here today, where we are. If a minister will tell Nigerians that Mr. President is hell and hearty, why all we know, and all of us know that Mr. President was seriously sick then.
Okay, well, I think his job...
When you say you've defeated Boko, let me tell you something. If you take somebody to hospital...
His job is to speak
No,
for the
it's
president.
your job...
And right now, the president is hale and hearty, and we know that.
Now, yes,
I'm
saying then. And let me tell you something. When you say you've defeated Boko Haram, the country that ought to help you as a country we relax. When you get to hospital, you are seriously ill.
We have 1 minute. Let's quickly
Mr. Doctor,
move
say,
to the last paper.
my friend, what's wrong with you? And you say, I am hell and hearty. The doctor will go inside his office and relax.
We'll take it up from there. The Guardian newspapers.
That is the point.
Stories making the headlines in the Guardian newspapers.
Again, Boko Haram kills soldiers. Military confirms 5 deaths. Force attack on Borno village. Why Islamic sect is reclaiming lost territory. Arrest APC mercenaries. Thoughts. PDP tells security agencies. PDP alleges INEC wants Rivers Giba polls cancelled. EU, German move to grow Nigerians non-oil sector. Gunmen kill 400 level students in commissioner's house, abduct a girl. How shareholders' activism ensures accountability, protects listed firms. Sultan orders urge prayer for Nigeria as Ramadan begins. All right, PDP alleges INEC wants Rivers Cuba polls cancelled. Briefly.
The point is that I don't believe in all this trade of ways here and there. Once the election has come and gone, whatever evidence you have, whatever allegation you have, go to the tribunal. That is why you have tribunal. That is even why I stand against what INEC is doing with the Okorocha.
Of course, as a lawyer,
Okorocha have actually won election because he has been declared winner. When you look at section 68, sub 1C of our electoral act, section 68, 1C, say, once a return is made, it will only take the tribunal or court to reverse such return.
So Okorocha should go to tribunal.
That is what that is what we are saying. So you don't have the right again to hold his certificate.
Quickly,
I hear some lawyers, they will come up and say
it was under duress.
They are being the word duress is not enough. Go to court, tribunal, and prove that duress.
That's exactly what they also.
The returning officer should call INEC as a witness. Call other people as witness. That is why you have the tribunal there.
All right.
If you finish the work by yourself as INEC, what will the tribunal do?
Thank you so very much. Time is won't really permit us to continue the papers this morning. You can go out there, pick the papers, and of course, read up for yourself and get to know what's happening around the world. I want to say a very big thank you to Mr. Joseph Anyanti, a legal practitioner, and of course, an analyst.
Thank you.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you, my brother.
Demma.
Yeah, we are not going yet. We are going on a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.